I think this is among the 9 bills under NADCO report. And Madam Speaker, I would have expected that we should have dispensed off this bill so that we can allow members to also prosecute other bills. And Madam Speaker, it's good to see you. The last time I saw you, we were condoling with the Dagoretti North Member of Parliament, Beatrice Alachi. And it is good that all of us are members of Parliament. We stand with each other, especially when we have challenges. Madam Speaker, secondly, the NADCO process was a bipartisan process. And I think the committee that was formed by both Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga and President William Ruto has borne the fruits. And one of the achievements that we have made so far, Madam Speaker, is we have now a broad-based engagement and broad-based government where we are working through by partnership, Madam Speaker. And one of the bills, the beneficiary is Senate has stood as the House of Union. Madam Speaker, I'm waiting with excitement. I'm waiting with excitement the constitutional amendment bill, Madam Speaker. And I know you as a member of Speaker's panel, a member, I saw, Madam Speaker, you need to clear in future, because I've seen you being introduced twice. Sometimes you come from Busia, sometimes you come from Kisumu. You will clear some of us so that in future we know where to refer you to. And you are a member of Justice, Legal Affairs, and Human Rights. I would really want to see, because, Madam Speaker, how Kenya is, even as these bills of NADCO are being processed. We must broaden and widen the executive. The fact that the current constitution of executive, we only have the president and the deputy president, will not accommodate our divergent nature of Kenya, Madam Speaker. Even the reason we have heightened campaigns, jostling and pushing for executive power, Madam Speaker, is because, one, winner takes it all. Number two is because there are only 2 positions, Madam Speaker, and I hope in the NADCO report where among the bills that we are discussing today, Madam Speaker, we must have an expanded executive where we have the president, Madam Speaker, we have the deputy president, we have executive prime minister, Madam Speaker, and we have 2 deputy prime ministers, Madam Speaker, and we have leadership that is clear, Madam Speaker. And I don't see the need, Madam Speaker, why should we appoint a member of parliament, they resign, we go for by-election, the country incurs expenses. Let us allow members of parliament to be appointed to the cabinet. We give them sitting allowances in the cabinet and save salaries, Madam Speaker, so that we can have a country. And therefore, I hope in the 9 bills that we are intending to bring, and one of them being in the Constitution Amendment Bill, this one being Statutory Amendment Bill, and I'm happy the youth leader, Senator Oburu Odinga, looks excited, especially when I mentioned the issue of expanded executive, because we want his brother to continue serving as the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya going into the future, and they are doing good work with the President, Raila Odinga. Madam Speaker, secondly, was on the issue of Section 11, the amendment on the Statutory Amendment 2024. When you read the parent act, Madam Speaker, that is Statutory Amendment Act of 2013, it's very clear. Madam Speaker, the delegated committee, I think in the last session, I don't know, Madam Speaker, whether Senator Faki is lucky or he is always lucky. Because in the last session, when the reorganization of committees in 2020, he became the chair of delegated committee. And I think he did a very good work, and I would have expected him to go back. But I think he decided to deal with issues of land in coastal region and the entire country. And I remember at that time, we used to argue on the timeline of delegated. And as they tried as a committee, you find, because under section, I think the closed section 2 of the statutory amendment, in the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013, the definition of regulatory making authority, Madam Speaker, has been given an obligation to do their job. But I remember during tenure of Senator Faki as the chair of a delegated committee, some of the regulatory making authority were delaying in doing their job. And in fact, we had to argue on operationalization because, Madam Speaker, after we have passed a bill, the parent ministry is given authority to do regulations. But you find they stole the operationalization of that act of parliament, because they do what, Madam Speaker? They are not very keen in bringing, and I'm happy it has been made now mandatory that within 12 months, Madam Speaker, they must give us, Madam Speaker, timeline for regulation. And therefore, Madam Speaker, we must be very keen, because you find a law is passed, the Ministry of ICT, in fact, I remember, Madam Speaker, one of the laws, and Senior Senator, Minority Leader, Senator Manzayo, you remember the one on the data protection. It took so long to bring allegations to Parliament. You remember the Information Act of 2016. It took so long to have regulations being brought into the House, Madam Speaker, because somebody somewhere in the ministry was sleeping. And I'm happy they have been given within 12 months. They must ensure those regulations so that they don't stall our work. Madam Speaker, outside there, Parliament and Senate and National appear that they don't do their work. Because after we pass the act, somebody goes to court, the regulations are not published. Then when you try and explain to people that the regulatory making authority has not brought us the regulations, Madam Speaker, they imagine we are abdicating or relicting our duty, Madam Speaker. And therefore I agree, the punishable should be around 2 million, Madam Speaker, 2 million Kenya shillings. 500,000 is chicken change, Madam Speaker. So we must at least 2 million minimum, because you are punishing a minister. Let's assume the regulatory making authority should be the ministry. If you are now, Madam Speaker, punishing or fining only a minister, Madam Speaker, 500,000 shillings, you can imagine they will just laugh at you. The way we were trying through Senator Outsources bill, where we are saying when somebody fails to appear before the committee, before committee of parliament, we just find them 500,000. And you find governors were smiling all the way to the committees. In fact, I remember the former governor Kitui, because Madam Speaker have been veteran in Public Accounts Committee, when we find former governor Charity Ngilu, 500,000 shillings, she just told us, where can I pay? Can I pay via M-Pesa? Can I pay in cash? Until we guided her that you must deposit and pay through the clerk of the Senate. So we must increase so that we make it painful and punishable going into the future, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the use of technology, that is amendment of section 19 and 18, is to publish both on revocation. Because, Madam Speaker, whenever you want to explain something with this digital era, Madam Speaker, we must go online. The website is important. I know Senator Utsosi have always have a problem with people who learn technology issues, even in ICT, Madam Speaker. We have always have a challenge. Let revocation by the concerned clerk, if it is Clerk Nyekenya, Jeremiah, or the clerk of National Assembly, they should publish on the website through the Kenya Gazette, so that any Kenyan, you know, Madam Speaker, I am the chairperson of Open Governance, co-convener in Parliament, Open Governance Program, OGP. One of our tenets of OGP, Open Governance, is transparency and accountability. The only way Parliament will be accountable, colleague leaders, is, Madam Speaker, is by publishing what we do, so that it becomes easy to ensure accountable. Madam Speaker, sorry, I had not seen Senator Metu. I thought he was with the President in the tour of Murima. Madam Speaker, and therefore, we must use and ensure that there is revocation and publishing of regulations, Madam Speaker. When you look at section 23, that I agree, because, Madam Speaker, we want to prevent busybodies. Now they says regulations might be considered through the standing orders of the Senate or National Assembly, and as per the act, the parent act of that regulations must be considered. When you look at, Madam Speaker, just to take you back, section 5A, Madam Speaker, of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013, it talks about explanatory memo. One of the conditions of explanatory memo before you bring before the Senate, before Parliament, Madam Speaker, is that there must be adequate public participation. Colleague leaders and senators, Madam Speaker, most of our bills that we have passed in the floor of the House, and I remember Senator Danson Mungatana was mentioning Okia Omutata, has only fell at the stroke of the pen by judges of court, Madam Speaker, because of only one simple thing, lack of public participation. In the explanatory memo under Section 5A of the Statutory Instruments Act of 2013, one of the grounds, Madam Speaker, is public participation. They must show how consultation was done, and therefore, so that we bulletproof. Is it bulletproof, or we ensure that, Madam Speaker, that we cannot open it up for challenge? Madam Speaker, we are not saying courts should not interpret the law or should not question the process of Parliament. And I remember, Madam Speaker, in Speaker Mate's case, Madam Speaker, you remember on the issue where a court said we cannot challenge a process, especially on impeachment, that we only challenge at the tail end. We are not saying courts should not challenge. But we are worried when courts want to overreach their mandate. They want to do legislation, Madam Speaker. They want to do lawmaking, Madam Speaker. You have seen, Madam Speaker, and that is why sometimes some of us ask, what are courts? What is the role of courts? Are they court keepers of particular, Madam Speaker, of particular individuals? Because sometimes Senator Minority Leader, Senator Stewart Mazzai of Kilifi, why is it that CBC courts have dealt an injunction? Madam Speaker, university funding model, they have dealt an injunction. Mr. Speaker, I noticed the change on the chair. Why is it that all matters that are pro-government, courts are quick to issue injunctions, and we are Kenyans? Courts do not exist in isolation. We must question them. We are funding them. We gave them 20 billion through appropriation the other day, Mr. Speaker, sorry. We gave through appropriation. Why is it that when we ask courts of law for accountability and transparency, why is it that anything that is government programs, the courts are quick to issue injunctions, for example? They should just come up, Chief Justice, which I have tremendous respect for, Chief Justice Martha Koome should just come and tell us the reason we are issuing injunctions, temporary injunctions against government programs, is because of X, Y, Z. And that is why, colleagues, this is one way of preventing a lot of litigations and litigious courts process, Madam Speaker. And that is the interest of us. We are lawmaking. You remember today, Mr. Speaker, we just passed the conditional allocations, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I'm happy Nandi today in the afternoon, under conditional grants and loans, Nandi is getting 486 million Kenyan shillings, Mr. Speaker. That is tremendous. But the sad reality is that this money will never give value. I know my neighbor, Senator Otsosi, knows there is nothing going on in Nandi County except that it has become the headquarters of corruption, where the governor, Mr. Speaker, is using 48.2 million to hire vehicles that you wonder why, as a government, buy vehicles, then do car hire services. It doesn't make sense, Mr. Speaker. This is how we are destroying devolution. And we sat through here, Mr. Speaker, to deliberate and protect and ensure that our counties get their resources that is enough, Mr. Speaker. And when such things that, Mr. Speaker, because this is a NADCO, one of the NADCO bills, I hope, and I wish I have not seen Senator Okongo Mgeni, but Senate Minority Leader is here, and I can't see other people who sat in NADCO. Maybe Senator Beatrice has some info. One of the bills, Senate Minority Leader, and of course the Deputy ODM Leader here, one of the bills is we should be discussing and ensuring that we pass the laws of fight against corruption. It cannot be. Today we sat, Nandi has got 486 million today. But when you go to the ground, the only thing my governor is doing is demolitions only in Kapsabet Town. Throwing women. And I know you pass, I know Senator Oburu knows Kapsabet, the market you used to talk to me, it has been demolished by the governor. In fact, Senator Orwoba should be the biggest person who should be raising her voice against women being thrown on the streets in Kapsabet Town or in Namgoi. I want to listen to the voice of Senator Orwoba on this issue because this is femicide. What is femicide? When you go and destroy where women are selling their wares in Kapsabet Town, in Namgoi Town, and you throw them on the streets, they cannot feed their... What is femicide? It is femicide that Governor Sang is doing. Because why throw the women on the streets? Mr. Speaker, it is sad reality that we must fight. I want to call upon the House leadership, the way we are passing the issue of NADCO, the way we are working hard to pass the bill on NADCO, I want to see the House leadership under the guidance of President William Ruto and Raila Odinga on how to deal with corruption in counties. It cannot be that we appropriate money. Mr. Speaker, you saw on Sunday, Taifa Leo, it was talking about counties where money is being lost through payroll. Mr. Speaker, sir, one of the biggest counties that featured was Nandi County, where payroll is being used. Mr. Speaker, sir, you find governor has cost workers, almost 300. There are people who carry seats. There are people who carry microphones. There are people who carry mobile toilets. There are people who carry carpet. There are people who carry Bible. There are people who carry pens. There are people who carry concubines. Mr. Speaker, it cannot be that we work very hard to create demigods and gods in our counties. I want to challenge the minority leader who is holding forth on behalf of the NADCO issues. Please bring something on corruption in counties. We cannot be working hard. Go to the village during the weekend in Kilifi, somewhere in Magarini, where money has been devolved. But those people, poverty is walking around like a human being. It cannot be in Garissa. Mr. Speaker, sir, less than 1 kilometer, water is passing through the town, but people cannot access clean and safe water. It cannot be, Mr. Speaker, that here in Nairobi, everywhere you walk is either you have pools that are more deeper than dimples, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, with those many issues that I've raised, I support, let us fast-track these NADCO bills. We are in support, Mr. Speaker. We are totally and absolutely with military precision on this NADCO. We are certainly behind President William Ruto and Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Mr. Speaker, into moving into a broad base and ensuring that we move this country forward. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks and with the smile of my minority leader, I beg to support.